Welcome to the Configure Price Quote podcast. My name is Frank Sohn and I'm the founder of No CPQ Consulting. This podcast is 100% focused on Configure Price Quote, also known as CPQ, and will provide you useful insights into this topic. My guest today is Ralph Schwarz, Global CPQ Product Manager at Cincom. He has been with Cincom for close to 39 years and has a wealth of experience and knowledge in Cincom product management as well as with working with customers. Ralph lives with his family in Cincinnati. Welcome to the CPQ podcast.
Thanks, Frank. It's great to be here.
Very excited to have you. And I was also very excited when I saw that you've been with the company for almost 40 years. Now, that's actually then the first question, right? So especially for listeners today, it probably sounds unbelievable that you would want to stay with a company for 40 years. So the first question was actually what got you there and what keeps you there?
That's a good question. I started my career here at Cincom back when I was in college. I co-opted during the summer. I was offered a full-time position at the end of the summer. So my 4-year college plan turned into a 10-year completion plan. But I was able to gain so much more value from my work experience than anything I could get from the book experience. You asked why I stayed here so long. I guess simply put, it's probably the culture. Our CEO and president, Mr. Neese, has provided a culture that values each employee's contribution. It allows for career growth. Our culture that both promotes teamwork and empowers the team to achieve a common goal, regardless of your specific role. And a culture that allows you to balance really your personal and your work life. I'm currently working as you said, the product manager, and I focus solely on the vision of our CPQ solution set. And I spent the majority of my time at Cincom in product management. So 20 of my 39 years has been in product management. But 15 of those 20 years has been solely focused on the front office solution. However, I started my position here at Cincom in quality assurance back unit testing and system testing our ERP application. Back then, testing was destructive. It was an approach. So every day I would come into the office, I would focus on ways of breaking the system. So the more bugs I found, the happier I was. And I'm not so sure that the engineers like my end-of-day dancing, but over the years, the culture allowed me to expand my role, and I could really got involved in the entire product life cycle of our delivery, from team leader to whole product delivery, pre-sales, consulting services, customer success management, partner enablement. Every aspect of our delivery cycle I got involved with, which gave me a unique perspective of the total experience that our customer interacts with Cincom on that customer journey. So I guess simply put, was a long-winded way of saying I've typically always enjoyed what I did here at Cincom. No matter what I was working on, I felt valued by the company.
Now, that's very cool, very unusual, right? So, but it must speak to a strong culture, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't stay that long. Now, tell me a little bit more about your current role and what you do there exactly.
So, as the product manager, I focus solely on the vision of our CPQ solution set. I spent the majority of my time here, as I said, in product management, originally in the ERP side with around our order management and our delivery process of financials, cost management, project costs. But I spent 15 of the 20 years in the front office. So as the product manager of CPQ, I engage with our analysts, I engage with our customers and prospects. I support our sales organization to try to set the vision of where our CPQ solution needs to go.
Okay. So one of the key contact points for everything related to Cincom CPQ.
That is absolutely correct.
And when you talk about Cincom CPQ these days, what's your favorite thing that you tell people about the solution?
From a solution perspective, and a CPQ is around innovation, because we have always found that for us to have the longevity in the market, we have to make sure we continue to innovate, both from a technology perspective as well as a business value perspective. So that's where I really focus here around CPQ is our innovation and our longevity.
Got it. And as you talked, I thought someone as experienced as you, I should probably also ask about the business lessons that you learned over your long career over there. When you would think about 3 important business lessons, what would you mention? What are the most important ones you learned over these almost 40 years?
Probably hard to narrow down to only 3. But I guess if I'm looking at the three that come to mind the quickest, and it's probably because where I sit in the office and how I come into the office, I see these three day in and day out, and it really comes down to teams. I know it's a cliche, but if the fact of the matter is, in the world of individuality and personal goals, you can accomplish so much more with teamwork. So we have a very close-knit team here. We work on both temporary and long-term solutions, and we do compromises to make sure that we are delivering on the value overall. And then the second one is probably about relationships, and it always goes into the customer care aspect, right? So as Mr. Nee says, Cincom is big enough to care for you, but small enough to care about you. And that, again, is built into our culture. It is whatever it takes as our mantra. So we work hard to make sure our customers are taken care of. And it's very easy to lose a customer, but it's very hard to get them back. So we want to make sure that we don't work with the customer as a vendor relationship, but we want to work with them as a partner relationship. And then the last I'll say is listen and learn. We always want to be able to figure out from our customers and our analysts, listen with empathy, talk less and listen more, and therefore understand from the customer's perspective what they're verbally saying as well as what they're not saying is, from their perspective, what is the value or goals that individual is trying to accomplish? Why is it important to them? And how can we help them achieve it?
Love it. Sounds like something you read in a management must-read book. Anyway, before we talk a little bit more about Cincom, I have a question for you to learn a little bit more about you. And I ask that question all our guests, and that's, what do you do when you don't work, Ralph?
That's an interesting one. I guess the simple answer is, I have 11 individuals that range from the ages of 1 to 12 that call me Pawpaw. So I'm not sure I need to say much more than that. My family life is important to me, and that's where I spend a lot of my time. And we try to stay involved and encourage my grandkids in many of their activities. So to that point, I'll spend a lot of time coaching them in either basketball or baseball throughout the year and staying involved in their activities. But my wife and I, and she is the CEO and boss of the home, like to go camping, taking on new sites in the Midwest and East Coast. And we started out as tent campers, but with the lack of power and the essentials that come with the need for power, my wife soon told me I had to rectify that problem. So we have a travel trailer, and so now I guess we're called glamping, which is more glorified camping. But that's what we enjoy doing, both the quiet ones where it's just her and I camping, but we also thoroughly enjoy the chaotic, noisy, and messy family camping trips that we go on with the kids and grandkids.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Also sounds like a lot of work, and it keeps you busy, I'm sure, especially during the summer months.
Absolutely.
Okay, so then let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about Cincom, right? So the Cincom CPQ solution has been around for over 20 years. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's new and noteworthy about the latest version of Cincom CPQ?
Sure. One I'd say is probably the enhanced Omni-Channel capability. We've really focused on, as you know, the industry is moving towards faceless rep type of experience. More e-commerce, self-serve is what we expect will be the norm moving forward. So we spent some time working enhancing our self-serve capability, integrate with e-commerce platforms to be able to have that interaction with the potential end customer much earlier in the sales engagement. Allow them to locate and engage a local sales rep if you sell through dealers. That will allow our companies to then reach those end customer markets much sooner in the sales process. And a part of that then becomes more around visualization. So visualization and augmented reality, we've partnered with a third-party vendor to allow for that integration, to provide a 3D image of what you're configuring, and then be able to present that image within your own workspace. That then aids to the emotional sale, I'll call it, for CPQ. And then beyond that is really what I call beyond the CP and the Q part. So not just developing quotes, but enhanced contracts, projects in some environments, and sales order functionality, and supporting the change order management process there. As we know, many companies who have change orders. Some of those are engineering change orders. That typically happens in the back office. But in many cases, they're customer change orders. Being able to track those customer change orders, making sure that based on where I am in the build process, do I have additional fees involved? What's the changes that are required? All of that becomes a lot more complex to manage and normally wants to happen in the front office to be able to re-quote the configuration and add additional pricing associated with it.
And since Cincom has more than 20 years experience with CPQ customers, you must have a wide variety of industries and types of companies you work with. Can you talk about what companies are using Cincom CPQ and how has their implementation changed if they are on your platform through the many versions that are typical for any business software solution?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a wide range of customers in both size and industry. And of course, from our heritage, a good percentage of those customers are in complex manufacturers. But we also have customers in other industries, such as services, waste collection providers, HVAC service providers, insurance providers. We have customers who use both Cincom CPQ and our customer communication product called Eloquence to produce complex contracts and dynamic communications in highly regulated industries such as healthcare. Now, our customers' product and services range from small pumps to refrigeration units to big earth movers and digging machines, from pure service offerings like waste management to a combination of products and services such as data services and HVACs. And the offerings require complex pricing, such as subscription and monthly pricing to one-time purchase price. The companies that we work with, they are also diverse. They are a mix of privately held, one location type of a business, to large global publicly held companies. While our headquarters is in Cincinnati, Ohio, we have a global footprint with feet on the ground across the globe. Offices in US, UK, France, Italy, Australia, Japan. So these companies sell globally. They have complexity also in how they sell. So whether they sell through direct sales channels, whether they sell through indirect partner networks, or whether they sell through an e-commerce channel. The mixture in which these companies are running the platforms integrated with CPQ can also be complex. So from different CRM systems, ERP, CAD, PLM, and e-commerce. So from our customers, they choose the CPQ solution, what version they're running on, and they continue to be supported by Cincom, even if they remain on specific versions. But most remain current, and most are in sync with the latest release of our Cincom CPQ offering that we deploy.
Novo CPQ Consulting helps you with all CPQ related questions. For example, we help customers to find the best CPQ solution for their business, and we help customers analyze their current business process to determine if and where CPQ can help. Here it's important to point out that we are 100% independent and always look out for our customers first. This means for us also that we don't get paid by any CPQ vendor for providing them new customers or for any other services. We are focused on our customers and always provide the best available information to them. We also help system integrators to improve their services, and we offer the only CPQ industry subscription that provides monthly CPQ news and trends. We have many other services, so check it out today at novocpq.com. Send me an email to frank.sohn@novocpq.com to learn how we can help you with your CPQ questions, and keep us in mind when you look for 100% impartial CPQ advice. What's the reason that Cincom CPQ has not been mentioned in the last couple of years in any of the major industry analyst reports, and do you plan to change that?
Yeah. Well, see, from a Cincom perspective, we continue to leverage the analysts to help us understand where the market's going. The analysts remain extremely valuable and necessary to our product direction and market awareness. But they are one of many inputs into our product direction and vision. For the various reports, we just have not met the defined requirements that have been laid out, those strict criteria to be included in the various reports. An example would be the Gartner Magic Quadrant for configure, price, and quote. But we concentrate more on being the right solution for our customer specific needs. We are not interested in being everything to everyone. So we offer extremely rich functionality and flexibility to ensure our customers get exactly what they need to fit their specific sales processes. But we continue to engage, and we will continue to engage and interact with the analysts to keep them updated on our capabilities. And we do hope to be included in the future CPQ reports.
Got it. Fair enough. And it's not always easy to stay up to date with all these conditions. But let's talk a little bit about integrations. What off-the-shelf integrations to CRM, ERP, e-commerce, and a bunch of other three-letter acronym systems do you offer at this time?
Yeah, you're right. CPQ does not work on its own. It has to work within the customer's landscape. So Cincom provides a robust, flexible integration framework that allows our customers to integrate with any application within their platform, whether it be a CRM, ERP, CAD, PLM, e-commerce, a visualizer tool, as we talked about earlier, pump sizing, Google Maps, DocuSign, the list goes on and on. But from out of the box, off the shelf integration, we provide that to Microsoft Dynamics today, Salesforce, as well as SolidWorks. And we talked a little bit about the 3-kit. So SolidWorks, for those who aren't familiar, is a CAD package that can generate drawings and visual output.
Got it. Now, one question I wanted to follow up on was also your collaboration with Microsoft, right? So was wondering, how do you collaborate with Microsoft these days, and how many of your customers use the Microsoft Dynamics platform?
Yeah, I'd say probably about 30% of our customers utilize Microsoft Dynamics 365 Sales CE today for our customer base. But we provide a standard certified managed solution that really installs directly into that environment. It puts Cincom CPQ IP into your Dynamics environments, which really allows you to have a complete omni-channel experience. So with that managed solution, it allows for an embedded user experience for our users within Dynamics. They then can utilize the investment of the CRM system to capture quotes, process leads and opportunities, generate the proposal output directly from within the actual CRM system, and convert those into orders back into their supply chain. From the reseller, we provide a reseller portal that allows the reseller channel to also interact with configure, price, and quote, and all that information, all the reseller quotes that are being developed actually are saved into Microsoft Dynamics, which now gives the company, whether you're a service company or a product company, complete visibility of what's going on in your channels. And then we have self-serve capability. So it allows the reach to end customers and to begin the sales journey with this faceless sales engagement process that's underway now post-pandemic. So Microsoft, with our Microsoft connector, that system can save those configurations back into Dynamics as well as the reseller portal so that you capture those leads and provide contacts with the sales channel to reach back out to that end customer.
Got it. So then let's do a short Q&A round on a variety of topics, right? So what do your customers demand from you regarding, for example, e-commerce integrations?
Yeah, Frank, from an e-commerce perspective, first I want to make sure I clarify that, Cincom CPQ is not an e-commerce system. For companies that have complex products and or services, we integrate with and we extend the capability of our customers' chosen e-commerce self-serve platform. But with that in mind, Cincom has customers today deploying through e-commerce platforms. And Frank, as you know, the pandemic has definitely expedited the need for companies to reimagine their sales methodology and strategy in this new faceless sales experience. They are needing to understand how and where their customers are interacting with their brand. They need to understand what content are they needing to consume, and how can I simplify my complex products and or service offerings so that they are understood and the consumer can be confident we have the right solution and the right price. We expect more of our customers to transition to this sales channel in the future to help address the need to reach the buyers sooner in their buying journey. When we talk to these companies, the important aspects of the solutions are, they're looking for a seamless integration with their e-commerce platform. What does that mean? At least one aspect is I got to be able to brand that experience with the same company style and theme. It also means I need to be able to simplify and provide a visual experience to the overall configuration. Therefore, a different user experience is needed for an e-commerce type of a user who are non-experts as compared to their internal or dealer sales team, which have a little more expertise in the product and offerings that they have. So therefore, there has to be more guidance. They can't just allow options being selected. They need to make sure that they're getting the right product for what the customer's business requirement or usage is, but also getting the product right so they can deliver the solution that's being proposed. Pricing has to be accurate, and since it changes frequently, the system has to be able to be easily administered and roll out those changes. And finally, whether placing an order or requesting a follow-up quote, it's required to seamlessly integrate with both their CRM and their ERP applications to be able to capture that lead or capture the order configuration data. They're really looking to reach their buyers earlier in the buying journey, and they need a seamless, robust, complete omni-channel experience.
Got it. And when you think about all this hype talk about artificial intelligence and machine learning and deep learning, like the ChatGPT stuff and other things, or even more basic stuff, what do you think about in terms of machine learning capabilities, including data analytics combined with CPQ?
Yeah, we are beginning to see more questions around AI and the possibility Cincom is looking to add that capability into our solution. So AI can help us in guided product selection, so making it more optimized and intelligent guided selection rather than predictive guided selection. So that's one area that we see we can improve on the AI aspects, but also around AI and pricing. So they want to be able to have more intelligence into optimizing the price. To make sure that they are competitive in those deals. So those are probably two areas around AI that we're looking to add into our solution. And obviously data lakes, the analytics plays a big part of those AI capability, right? So you have to have the data lake in order to be able to have AI function. So for customers though who want to be able to do analysis, not just AI, what they're really looking to understand is impact on their win-loss. How am I doing from a product optimization or a product rationalization? I have all these features and capabilities. How often am I requesting specials? And how often am I requesting the same special? How often do I win business when those are done? So rationalizing your product offering, determining what products to remain sellable, how you want to price them when they are selected, becomes an area of analytics that people are trying to get more into rather than just the normal sales quota analysis.
Got it. Then another topic is headless and microservice. Do your customers ask for it? How important is that for your customer base?
For the most part, I'll say, unless you're in IT, you don't specifically come out and ask for the headless and microservices capability. But I guess first, for those in the audience who are not familiar with what that term is, it really relates to software design and platform build methodologies, which aim to make the development and the deployment of products faster, more efficient, and scalable. So while most companies don't specifically ask for microservices, indirectly it is being the solution to a common set of business requirements that are often discussed. And that is performance being one, how scalable is it, and can I scale the front end versus the back end separately? What is my best of breed plug and play strategy? How flexible and how personalized can that experience be? So those are really the business requirements that are being asked about that ultimately drives to we're solving it through this headless microservices type of a solution. So with the Cincom CPQ solution, it is architected on a headless microservice development platform, which is how we can remain agile, quick to market, and with continuous improvements. From our customer perspective, it ensures that they have a high-performing, they have a scalable solution, and they can plug and play like puzzle pieces and Legos. You kind of put them together with other services within your sales strategy to be able to come out with a complete, tailorable branded experience for their customers and their partners.
Excellent. So then my last question on this quick question and answer round is concerning aftermarket services. How much demand do you see for that, and has that changed over the last couple of years?
Yeah, I'm beginning to see more of it come up, but for the most part, our current customers and prospects have been really talking about the original product configuration needs, more than aftermarket. Aftermarket becomes a phase 2, phase 3 type of activity. But we do have customers who are looking to have their aftermarket, their repair and overhaul, I'll call it, their fixing of their original equipment out there, covered through the CPQ solution.
And right now in the current economy, we're still in early 2023, right? So lots of customers are concerned about recession and still have supply chain problems and things like that. And I was just wondering, does that impact your business at Cincom CPQ? And if so, how does it impact it?
So sure. So the one thing I'll say is probably a good time. While the economy may be down in some industries, this might be a good time to actually invest in your front office solution so that when the economy picks back up, you have a better experience moving forward. And we're actually seeing some of that. So we have many customers engaging with us right now through services contracts where we are helping transform and enhance their overall experience from a CPQ perspective. It's allowing time right now for them to invest in the front office solutions to better equip themselves for when the industry kind of picks back up.
Got it. And your own team, are you still hiring?
Absolutely. We have positions available, whether it's sales, services, and engineering. We're continuing to hire.
Excellent. And you're still going out to have some face-to-face industry events this year. Any major event that you want to mention where customers can see and meet the Cincom CPQ team?
Yeah, after 2 years without events in the pandemic, we've been kind of isolated, haven't we? But we're finding folks really want to get back out and network face-to-face with their peers. And these events are extremely important to Cincom to be able to engage with partners, customers, and the analysts to truly get a pulse of the CPQ market. So, of course, they also help generate leads. But we want to make sure we are always out there and engaging with our customers and with our partners. So this list, I'm gonna kind of give you some updates. This is always being updated throughout the year as new events come up. But I'll say the primary 2 events will be around Microsoft. So we have some Microsoft events such as Dynamic Con in May in Scottsdale, Arizona. We have the Dynamics Community Summit in October in Charlotte, North Carolina. We plan to be at Dreamforce event for Salesforce in September. So those are the key ones that we're really looking to focus on. And then we'll be on some smaller, very niche ones, such as specialty vehicles. There's a work truck week in Indianapolis in March that we're going to. So.
Great, but unfortunately, we're coming to the end of this episode. Hence, my last question: what's a good way for interested listeners to get a hold of you or your team?
Yeah, absolutely. If they want to reach out to me directly, they can contact me at rschwarz@cincom.com. And that is SCHWARZ. There is no T in my last name. And if they want to send an inquiry to CPQ@cincom.com, our marketing and sales team will be happy to set up a call to understand what your listeners' needs are and their interest in Cincom. We appreciate it.
Perfect. We will have all this information as always in the show notes. Ralph, thank you very much for making time for the CPQ podcast today.
All right. Thank you, Frank.
I'd like to thank everyone for listening and hope you learned something interesting today. If you like the podcast, please go ahead and rate it on iTunes or share it with your friends and colleagues. In the meantime, you can find us online at www.novocpq.com. So long, everyone.